Hey guys, this is David Wynn with the Mortgage Edge podcast, brought to you by Click and Close Mortgage. Today we have a very special guest, Quentin Moore from Houston, Texas. Quentin Moore, what is up, brother?
What is going on? How y'all doing out there?
Good, good. So as we shoot this podcast today, what is it? It's Friday the 13th.
13.
2 weeks before Christmas. So Merry Christmas to everybody out there. How's things going out there in Houston, man? Talk to me a little bit about the market.
Oh, it's still a buyer's market, but we're starting to see a little pickup. Getting a little warm. The market is starting to warm up. I think next month I'm looking for Q1 to be a very stable month. So we're looking for the first cuts in rates that's going to probably come, but at the same time, we also looking to see, buyers get excited about buying again, and start getting them into the market and just buy. The only problem that I see that's gonna happen come Q2, Q3, we might not have enough homes like back in 2020 or 2021. People think that it's not going to happen again. We're not going to see the rates go down as low, but we're going to see some changes. But in Houston's doing a lot of building. So a lot of things that we're starting to see is new builds. That's what's basically everyone is attacking right now, especially like the Waller area from Waller to that Waller Cypress connection. They're going to connect that. So that's going to be a big boom out there. And also, you're gonna see some things going on in the East with Dayton and Crosby, because those are undeveloped areas. So I'm looking to see a lot happen in those areas.
Well, Houston's a hot market, man. It's been hot for several years now. So even in the last couple of years when it's been slow, Houston's been a hot market. So That's awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about you, man. You've been, you're a big time producer. We don't typically go over numbers. If you want to go numbers, we can, but you're killing it out there, man. What's, before you got into real estate, I think you were a regional manager for Mod Pizza. Is that correct?
Correct.
How long did you do that?
I was with Mod for 2.5 years, but I was in food service for, I want to say 15 years. So I kind of grew up in the food service, went from healthcare to food service. I don't know how you make that shot, but it's all numbers. And with real estate, it's about people. It's about people and relationships. So that's something that I've been developing lately, is just trying to make sure that we sustain those relationships instead of just making a relationship. So, that's what I've been doing. But it's a big difference, but it's all about people and just serving people. And, in this business, if you don't want to serve, then, you're not going to be successful at all. I did a few closings in my day, but it's just mainly about serving the people and trying to make sure that everyone gets the deal that they want. My niche is negotiating. I try to make sure that my clients, they get the best deal. And typically the best deal is always a win-win. When you take a client per se, and it's your client's winning and the other client's losing, you don't know what's behind those walls. So you always want to just leave a couple of, it's okay to leave a few things on the table, not too much, but just, make sure everybody's winning in the, when it comes down to dealing. But negotiating is my niche. That's basically what I do.
That's awesome, man. So you're always and you said something earlier. You came from a service industry. I think we're in real estate. We serve people. That's why you're so successful, brother. I can see why you're so successful out there, and helping to negotiate the largest purchase of their life, and to know that you're on their side. No wonder you're one of the top realtors out there. Tell me a little about your upbringing. You grew up in the Houston area, or?
No, I'm actually from New Orleans, Louisiana.
New Orleans, Louisiana?
Yeah, by way of Kenner, Louisiana, by way of Destrehan, Louisiana, Reserve, Louisiana, Edgard, Louisiana. All right. I moved around a good bit, but and can't I definitely cannot forget Thibodeau, Louisiana. That's where I went to college at. But I like New Orleans is a different kind of city, and one of the things that unfortunately, unfortunately but fortunately, we have a lot of people who came from New Orleans from New Orleans to Houston after our big storm, and some people came out here and they made this home. I mean, this Texas living is totally different from how we live in Louisiana. It's a little bit more. It's not. It's not as flamboyant as New Orleans, but it gives me an opportunity, and a lot of people will probably agree with this and appreciate this. It gives you a strong opportunity to raise your family in the way that you want. And the thing that I love about Houston is the diverse. I mean, so that's something that New Orleans doesn't have as much as, well, when I was growing up, as much as they did when I was growing up. But now it's very diverse in New Orleans. But like I
Yeah.
said, I just love it out here. But from New Orleans, in New Orleans, when you say what school did you go to, they're talking about what high school you went to. I went to West St. John High School with a host of colleges. Went to Nickel State, Southeastern, Delgado, SUNO, Southern University, and LSU. I did a quick stint in Texas at A&M Commerce, but that when I tell you quick stint, quick stint. But I wound up finishing at Southern University of New Orleans, and just it was just it was a time. But like I said, New Orleans is that's where I'm from, but we made Houston home.
Well, I know this. There's a lot of Louisiana transplant out there. So the fact that you went down memory lane and your childhood and background, I'm gonna guess they're gonna be reaching out to you to try to purchase a house here.
You'll be surprised. I mean, like a good bit of my clients are from the New Orleans area. They'll call me up, hey, I'm interested in making a move. Rather it's because of, hey, I want to get my kids in a better school system. I mean, we out here, the high schools especially are like mini colleges. And so that was one of the things that was so impressive. Like, I mean, even when it comes down to some of the kids that play sports, you have some of these kids that go in there, they're going to be 5-star athletes, but they just need to be trained a little bit better or coached a little bit better. And that's one of the things out here that they have a good system for. So a lot of parents will move their kids out here for the opportunity. But, and that's one of the things, like we said earlier, we're here to serve them. So, basically helping them find the right system, the right place. A lot of the parents are entrepreneurs, rather that they're being a truck driver or just kind of working on their own. I just sold a house not too long ago to a landscaper. He was just getting his landscaping business off the ground here in Houston. He still has the one back at home in New Orleans, but he wanted to do it here in Houston. I'm like, come on, let's dive in. And so basically putting some of my contacts into with him and let him get an opportunity to show his work. I mean, and it just worked out for him. And that's, one of the things about being an agent, you have to be able to make those connections, rather, you're kind of like a liaison. And so it's sort of the speak.
Sure. What's something you're passionate about and about that not a lot of people know about?
Something I'm very, very passionate about is two things that I'm very, 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 very passionate about. Number one is grieving kids. And when I say kids, I'm talking about even adults. So, after you lose a parent, especially your parents, a lot of time we're not prepared for that. No one is. I lost both of my parents in 2021, and it was a tough time for me, and just me jumping over that hurdle and learning to live with my parents and not without them. If that makes sense to you, that's something that I was blindsided by it. So now it's just trying to help people get through those parts of their life. Rather that's if I have to send a text message, just some encouraging words, that's just, helping them stay focused, because you can lose yourself. I mean, it's easy, very, very easy to lose yourself in that situation. And then also just what to do, because you got some families who don't have wills, some families who their houses are like they don't know what to do, they don't know what the next step is. Or do we sell grandma's house, do we sell my dad's house, what do we do? And then on top of the mental side of that, so that's something that I'm very, very passionate about there. I think they need to have a lot of a lot more care for that. And then the second thing that I'm very passionate about is the elderly. I think that we need to do a better job of taking care of our elderly, because we're going to get there one day, hopefully. And so when we get there, what is that going to look like? I think that we don't have enough homes for our elderly, meaning that where they can where it's affordable. We're not talking about hut number 5 for a 75-year-old man or a 75-year-old woman to live in. I'm talking about something that's really, really nice, something that I would live in, you would live in. That's what I'm passionate about, is making sure that those, the beginning years are great, and your latter years are great just as well. That they both match up, and that's something that I think that we want to I want to focus more on, is making sure that people are enjoying their last few days here, and by making sure that they can afford their homes, and that they're not going to push themselves into a nursing home where they're going to go there and they're not really going to get taken care of like we want them to be taken care of, or like they want to be taken care of.
Man, all I've heard is that servant heart of yours, brother. You're gonna make me tear up a little bit. That servant heart not only is for the kids, the elderly, but that's why you care, man. That's why it shows. It comes across very strongly. I'm proud to not only call you my friend, but a working relationship. That's awesome, man. So, how do you define success, and what do you think has been your biggest success so far?
I a little bit different. I define my success based on my kids. Trying to make sure that, and I have 3 kids. 4,
Age?
4, 7, and 14.
Holy cow! You're in the throes of it, brother.
Tell me about it. And that 4-year-old is something. But just making sure that there are chains to they're linked in a chain and not a kink. And if there continue to be a link in the chain, then that means that they're moving to expand, our family. But as soon as we see a kink in the chain, how can we get that out? How can we help them, move to a different direction? So I define my success by the legacy that I leave. What are my kids gonna be looking at? Are they gonna be, working like a dog, or are they gonna be able to work but still enjoy life? My sister, she says, you can't count what you make doesn't determine your success. It's how you live that determines your success. And I think she has a point on that. And I've never kind of, I don't really listen to her like talking about, but she makes a valid point on, what you make doesn't, it's basically more about what you keep than what you make. But it's also about the lifestyle that you live. So basically making sure that someone else is going to be able to benefit from your work, and you're also benefiting from it too.
Man, I needed to hear that. I got 2 sons myself, 14 and 16-year-old, and they are my world. Everything I do, they're my why. They're the reason why I get up. They're the reason why I do the things I do, and it's the legacy I leave is for them. A friend of mine said this a while back. Every time I have questions about should I do this or that, there's a saying: if you fail at raising, as a parent, if you fail at raising your kids, what else in life really matters? What accomplishments in life, if you fail at raising your kids, really matters? Money, wealth, position, none of that matters. And that came from Jackie Onassis Kennedy. That quote. And I every time I think about something, I go back to that quote because it just reminds me of my why. No wonder we connect so much. I didn't know that about your why, but it sounds like we have the same why.
Yeah. And then, but the other, I'm sorry, but the other thing is that, when raising kids, you never stop. Like
No.
when I say you never stop, and I spoke earlier about my parents, they're consistently parenting me even from the grave, because it's little lessons that I put in the back of my mind, but I wasn't using it. And like now as an adult, I'm like, oh, that's what they meant. Oh, wait. I know I heard this before. So you never stop parenting your kids.
Yeah, no. So what do you think is your greatest strength, and how has it helped you in
I want to say just the fact that I want to serve people. Communication has been one of my greatest strengths, and just listen. The biggest part is just listening to what people, because people will tell you what they want, and after they tell you what they want, you have to be able to go out there and go get it. And communicating is 70% listening. That's why you got 2 ears. But I think that's one of my greatest strengths. And, just also being able to not be shy. I've never met a stranger. And if they're a stranger, unless it's a dangerous stranger, if they're a dangerous stranger, then they're going to be a dangerous stranger. But that's the most thing, is just I try to be a likable person. But I also try to make sure that people understand that I'm here to serve. I'm not here for a different agenda.
That's awesome, brother. Well, how do you envision your future, and what goals are you most focused on right now?
Well, right now my vision is to become a broker. That's the number one goal right now. Going into 2025. This year we're all about building our portfolio as far as the property goes. Also getting my kids more involved in the business, not just, going to open houses and walking around, because they think that all daddy does is play dress up all day long. But, just getting them involved more in the business, educating them on, the difference between saving money and investing money. And so being more of an investor in real estate. Also making sure that we get our vacations on, because it's hopefully we can start traveling more abroad. That's one of the big things. Just trying to introduce my kids to different cultures and stuff like that. A lady told me, she said, well, we bring our kids all these places. Where are they gonna when they become adults, where are they gonna go? I said, to the moon. So that's one place I'm not paying for it. But that's the goal for this year, is to basically, jump into this investment, because I know right now it's a buyer's market. In the third quarter, it should be the switch should be turned on to be a seller's market. And so while it's a buyer's market, we want to buy, so that way we can get ready for Q4, Q3, Q4, and then Q1 of 2026.
Absolutely. Well, Quentin, man, you've been awesome. You've given us a lot of insights. What should we talk about that we didn't talk about today?
Just mainly different programs. I mean, just to let people know, first thing first is, one of the things that I'm passionate about is, when it comes down to educating people on buying a home, is you don't overthink the process, because we get a lot of that. And then remember, you're not the expert at credit or DTI, or go to the expert. It doesn't cost anything. I mean, for to call you to say, hey, can you run my
right?
I need to apply. I need to see where I'm at. I need to come up with a plan. Everything starts with a game plan. Let us coach you through this. I mean, and that's the thing that we definitely don't do. It's kind of like playing football. You have a strength conditioning coach. You have the coach on the field. You got a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. You have a LO who's going to help you. You have your real estate agents that's going to help you. You have your inspector that's going to help you. Don't be the expert. If that's not what you're expert at, don't be the expert. It's one thing to study it and try to become the expert, but leave things to the expert and take the advice. Because if somebody tells you, hey, that's not the home for you, take the advice. That's not the home for you. Or if your LO is saying, hey, yes, you can afford a $1.5 million home, you could pay for it, but I wouldn't get it. I would kind of try to stay in $1 million. Trust me, this is what we get paid for. This is how we provide for our families. So please just listen and understand. You need 3.5 to get a house in most cases. Some conventionals 5%, 3%, 10%, 15%. There's different numbers, and if you're going USDA, you don't need any money. So please don't become the expert. Don't try to be the expert unless you are the expert. Just rely. Ask questions. Ask as many questions as you can. Because I guarantee you, the LO who doesn't answer the questions or the agent who doesn't answer the question, that's not the agent for you. I don't care if that's your cousin, your brother, your auntie. If they weren't willing to answer the questions on giving you the whys, you might want to start looking around.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. You'd be surprised how many first-time home buyers I talk to that we get them approved and they said, oh my God, I had no idea I could get approved. And instead of renting another year, now they bought a house. Or there's so many misconceptions because they're not in this industry. I still hear people saying, oh, I thought I had to have 20% down.
Yeah.
And, it's just a misnomer. And there's so many programs out there, like you said, FHA, 3.5%, conventional, sometimes 3 to 5%, USDA, nothing down. But there's down payment assistance programs out there now where you can get into a house with zero down.
Yep.
A great realtor like you, since it's a buyer's market, can negotiate closing costs. I've seen a ton of my clients move in with zero down.
Yep.
So that's why I say, talk to someone. It doesn't cost you any money. And the secondary thing is this, home ownership is what I call the American dream. Everybody deserves a home, whether you think you can or not. You'd be surprised. And what we do is we put you on a path. There's some people that I have on 3-month plan, 6-month plan, 1 year, 2 years. I have even some people on a 3-year plan. But guess what? At the end of 3 years, if they follow the plan, they're going to get a house.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say talk to the experts. And you bring up a valid case on. Don't guess. Don't Google. Don't don't think that the information on talk or whatever stuff they see out there is all knowing or whatever, and just talk to someone. It doesn't cost you anything. Well, man, it's been great talking to you, Quentin. I know if the people in Houston want to find, and I know they do. How do they find you? How do they get hold of Quentin Moore?
Well, they can call me at I'm about to give you my old number. You can call me at 281-935-4968. And my email address is Quentin, Quentin, the number 6.1911 at iCloud.com. Or you can look me up on Facebook, Quentin E. Moore. You can find me there. You're gonna see this big smile. There's a guy named Quentin. There's another guy named Quentin E. Moore. He's a singer. He's in Dallas. He's a singer, not the agent.
I think I'll friends with both of you.
Okay. Yeah. I never met the guy, but I heard he's really, really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, guys, if you're watching this live and not listening, you saw that going across the lower thirds. So if you're looking for real estate in the Houston area, there's only one person I'm calling, and that's Quentin Moore. Give him a call, guys. He's awesome. He cares. He has a servant heart, and he's here to help. I think 2025 is going to be a big year. So, Quentin, thank you very much for being on the show. My name is David Wynn. I'm with the Mortgage Edge podcast. Thank you very much for being with us today. Bye, guys.
Thank you.